hours today and it has been such a long, exhausting day. But Chloe did so insanely well on the drive here. Like, there were no tears involved. The iPad did help for the last stretch of the drive for sure. She did so well. Andrew's trying to get her energy out and run her around. Try to get her ready for bed because it's already 8 o'clock, but we left at 9 this morning. We had a few stops along the way. It's a little bit later than we expected to get here, but we're honestly just gonna crash here for the night. We're in Fishkill, New York. I have no idea what's here, but tomorrow we're gonna be heading to New Haven and then also Boston, which is like the main event of our whole trip. I am so excited to be heading to Boston, but I'm gonna get myself ready for bed, get Chloe's things ready so that she can easily go down for bed, hopefully. This is our first time also staying in a hotel since she's been a toddler. Things are very different now, so hopefully she sleeps well and we get a good night's sleep because we have a little bit more driving tomorrow, but definitely not as much as we did. Hit the road again the next morning for an hour-and-a-half drive to New Haven, Connecticut, and stopped at MOTW for some coffee. I ordered the brown sugar shaken espresso and it was so good. We walked around the Yale University campus, which was absolutely gorgeous. It was really cool to see the student life and just wander around looking at all of the buildings and architecture. New Haven is well known for its pizza, so we tried going to Sally's or Frank Pepe's, which are the most popular spots, but both had a really long line out the door, so we settled on going to Zanelli's and still really enjoyed a margarita pizza. We sat outside and then afterwards we headed to Boston. Hello from Boston. We finally made it. We came from Fishkill, New York, where we stayed last night just as like a random little stop on our road trip. And then this morning we did an hour-and-a-half drive to New Haven, Connecticut, which was actually like, there was a lot of scenery. We were going through mountains. It was actually really pretty. We went to a coffee shop there, explored Yale a little bit. It was super nice, but we're really happy to be here in Boston. This is like the main event of our whole trip. I've always wanted to go here. It looks like the leaves, I feel like they're going to be peak in about a week or two. They're still not quite changed over, which I'm a little bit sad about. We have this beautiful city view from our hotel room, which I'll have to show you guys, but we're gonna head out to dinner. We just got to our hotel room. We're staying at the Canopy, which is like on the north end of the city, and there's a lot happening over here. There's a lot of restaurants. We're near Little Italy. We're excited to have some like Italian food later this week. We're gonna go have some dinner. I think we're gonna go to Union Oyster House, which is the oldest restaurant, I believe, in Boston, if I'm correct. We were feeling like clam chowder sounded really good, and of course we have to try some New England clam chowder. So I'm gonna show you guys the view though from our room. I love all the old brick buildings here in Boston, and everything just has like so much charm. It's so pretty. We're gonna head down for some dinner because I am starving right now. The first full day in Boston. We're gonna head and get some breakfast. We're gonna go to Beacon Hill. I think there's a lot of shops, coffee shops, things to look at and explore. Just doing a casual outfit with some jeans, this little crop from Target, a billabong jacket, and then I'm gonna wear my platform Vans, which unfortunately got a coffee stain on the very top of it. Our first full day in Boston, we walked towards Beacon Hill. One of the things we noticed about this city is it's very walkable, and on the walk there we went through Boston Common, which is actually America's oldest public park. Not far from there was the Beacon Hill area, known for its cobblestone streets, and the buildings here were so beautiful. It ended up being one of my favorite areas of Boston. We found the cutest little bookstore and cafe. You go through this tiny doorway to get to the coffee shop. I ordered a maple latte, and then to the left of it was the bookstore with several floors of books. We found a toy store for Chloe. There were so many antique shops and boutiques, and of course we had to see the famous Acorn Street. It's a couple hours later. We did a little outfit change. I'm still trying to decide though if it's warm enough to wear this outfit, and I'm really kind of debating on changing, but I'm just gonna show you guys so that you can see it because it's super cute. I'm wearing this little lace top that I got on Amazon, and then this bralette matches it perfectly. It's also from Amazon. And then this jumper, I don't know if they have anything like it this year. I got it from American Eagle last year, and it's so cute, perfect for fall. Yeah, everybody outside is wearing pants, and I just feel like I'm gonna be way too cold, so we might have to change. Day 2 of exploring Boston, and today we're gonna do a lot more history stuff like the Freedom Trail, Paul Revere's house, all of that stuff. But first we're gonna stop and get some coffee. I think we're gonna take the metro to get down to the park, which is where the Freedom Trail starts, and also check out Boston Garden. But I realized that I kind of severely underpacked and all of my outfits are basically the same on this trip. Still a little different. I'm just wearing black Abercrombie jeans, the same platform Vans, and just this white long sleeve that I got last year from Target, and my cute little charm necklace that I made while my sister was here. After a quick metro ride, we went to Tate Bakery, which I highly recommend. There are several in the city, and the coffee and baked goods were so good. From there, we walked across the street to Boston Public Garden. This is America's first botanical garden and is free to the public. It was so gorgeous, and also right across the street from Boston Common, which is where the Freedom Trail starts. You cannot visit Boston without seeing all of its history. The Freedom Trail was definitely a highlight of our trip. You can pay to take a tour, or you can do it by yourself by following the brick trail throughout the city. We bought a map for $2 in the visitor center, which explained a lot of the history, and we opted to walk it alone so we could stop at any point for snacks or lunch with Chloe. But there were so many amazing sights along the way, including the cemetery where Paul Revere, John Hancock, and Samuel Adams are buried, the old state house where the Declaration of Independence was read, and the site of the Boston Massacre. Majority of the buildings along the way you can pay to go inside for a tour for about $5 to $6. The last 2 stops we made on the trail were Paul Revere's house and the Old North Church. We went inside both of these, and unfortunately no videos were allowed, but it was so cool to see. Just 30 minutes outside of Boston is Wilson Farms. We mainly headed here for apple cider donuts and activities for Chloe, but unfortunately all of that stuff was closed until the weekend. We still walked around the market. They had a huge selection of produce and pumpkins. Afterwards, we drove to the small town of Concord, Massachusetts, wandered around, looked at the shops in this adorable town. Here you can also see the Minuteman Historical Park and Louisa May Alcott's house, the author of Little Women. There are endless historical sites to see in this area, so we will definitely have to come back. We are home. We had such a good trip in Boston. I seriously could see myself living there. I loved that city so much. It was definitely very walkable. The metro was so easy to use, and I would say for it being a city, it was fairly kid-friendly. Like, people were so nice. They were so helpful, and for having to tackle having a toddler in the city, it just felt pretty safe, a little less overwhelming than like if we went to New York City or something like that. If I could do this trip again, I probably would do it a couple weeks later than what we actually did. We went from October 6th through the 11th, and I think if we waited just a couple more weeks, we would have seen a lot more fall leaves and fall colors, but we still had such a good time. Probably a lot more to see. We didn't get to finish the Freedom Trail. We saw probably just like the main spots in the Freedom Trail. There was definitely a lot more to explore, but we had such a good trip. We visited some other small towns in Massachusetts. We stopped in Jersey overnight to stay the night before we headed home for another like 6 to 7 hour drive home. But luckily we really kind of avoided traffic and all of that. We actually stopped in Sleepy Hollow, New York, because I wanted to see that town as well. It's very like Halloween based and just another really cute town over there. I think you can actually take a train from New York City to Sleepy Hollow, but by the time we got there it was around 5 o'clock and nothing was really open. We basically just got dinner and then carried on our way because we were so ready to just get to our hotel and get home. If I could do it again, I would definitely fly, because then we could probably have more time to see things. We did want to fly originally, but the prices of rental cars were insane. So glad that we were still able to make the trip. If you liked this video, don't forget to press the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in my next video.
The fall is coming, I can feel it.